Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing, and we are here with the F1 2025 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix driver ratings. Let's dive into it from top to bottom. Lando Norris, right? Lando Norris. I'm going to give Norris a 6 out of 10. I think a 6 is very generous. Finished 4th. Actually, you know what? Fuck, it's a 5. He's got the best car, right? I'm not going to be one of these people on here that pretend he's got the best car by like 4 seconds a lap. That's really not the case, right? But best car. Should be at minimum, you know, battling his teammate and Verstappen for the win, right? And Leclerc, I mean, Leclerc was there, which you could say, well, didn't he do that? Yeah, but he did it for 10th spot, you know what I mean? And he should be starting in the top 3, or at least the top 4, you know what I mean? Maybe Lando Norris wins that race. If he starts in the top 4, who knows? I'd actually like to see a Piastri-Norris battle, but it's a 5 out of 10. Oscar Piastri, I'll give him a 9 out of 10, you know. Didn't get pole, kept his nose clean. Benefited from a penalty that was fairly dished out to Max, so it's not quite a 10, it's a 9. I mean, not everyone that wins the race has to get a 10, to be honest. Into Red Bull, Max Verstappen, pole position, finished 2nd. I'll give him a 9, because you know what? It's a mistake in the turn 1, it's unnecessary, man. You know what I mean? And I like Max, and you know what? I think we need him in F1. Couldn't really imagine it without him, because he is so controversial, but you can't just fucking fly into turns and fly off and claim, well, he overtook me off it. You know what I mean? Like why is he greeting about it? Why is Christian Horner whipping out the fucking the photographs? You know what I mean? When you actually look at last year in Austin, he did the same to Norris, and Norris got a penalty. You know what I mean? And there's way more of a case that Max forced Norris off in Austin than Piastri forced Max off here. Max was never making that corner, man. Not in a month of Sundays was he making it. So I'll give him a 9. You know, the car's no there, but it was still a good drive. What else? Yuki Tsunoda qualified low down, crashed out. I mean, what is there really to say about Yuki Tsunoda's performance in this race, man? Honestly, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Pretty poor. Mercedes, Russell qualified 3rd. Said he could have been on pole. Finished P5. It's an 8 out of 10 for George Russell. Seems like he just couldn't really manage the tyre well today. So that's where it is. Kimi Antonelli qualified 5th, I believe, finished 6th. I'll give Kimi Antonelli, I'll give him a 7, man. I mean, is the Mercedes the 2nd fastest car? Could be. Would it surprise me that if Leclerc and Verstappen this weekend just dragged their car ahead of that Mercedes? No, especially Verstappen. We know that's what he's doing. You know what I mean? Not that it's an awful car, you know, per se, because it's still easily a top 4 car. But yeah. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, P3, and Lewis. Oh no, where did he qualify again? Where did Leclerc P4? Or was P4? Leclerc qualified. So I tell you what, man. Honestly, see Leclerc. I'm not going to give him a 10 because there will be better Leclerc performances, right? And I don't think getting a podium in a car that I do think has a capable chance of getting it. I'm not going to give him a 10, but I'll tell you what, folks, that near enough is a 10 for Leclerc, but I'll give him a 9. It's a very good 9. Probably my star of the weekend. Lewis Hamilton qualified low down, can't remember exactly, but finished P7. It's a 5 out of 10, man. The guy looks very mid. Yo, did his racecraft help Leclerc get a podium with holding up Norris and people like that? Probably, but you know, that's not what he's at Ferrari to fucking do. He's at Ferrari to beat Leclerc and win races and get podiums, and apart from a sprint victory, man, this guy's amounted to hee-haw. Anyway, Aston Martin, Lance Stroll, fairly anonymous. And I tell you what, it's also kind of funny because I feel like it was a point in that race, it's like he could have actually beat like Alonso and guys like the RBs. But I think Aston Martin just hung him out to dry on that hard tyre. He just stayed out far too long. So I'll give Stroll, I'll give Stroll a 5 or a 6 even. I'll give him a 6. Honestly, I think he got fucked by the strategy. Alonso qualified better than that car is and finished 12th. Again, for the 2 retirements, he'd have finished 14th. But he was pretty close to points in the end, wasn't he? So, in a car, I just think, honestly, I think it's just a good drive for Alonso. I'll give him a 7. You know, I'm not going to give the guy an 8 or a 9 or a 10. I think I need to reserve that for points, don't I? But again, if he got points in that shit box, I'd probably fucking gain him like a 9 or something. Right, moving on. Alpine. Crash was a racing incident. Got in the Q3. I'll give him a 6. I know it may seem like I downplayed Shinoda, but his teammates getting pole. You know what I mean? Right. Jack Doohan, extremely mid. I just don't know what this guy's problem is. You know what I mean? What is he doing? You know what I mean? What is he doing? There's races and qualities where he looks every bit just as good as Gasly, and then he just absolutely falls away. Like, I don't really know what the hell's going on. Anyway, I'll give him a 4 out of 10. Jake, man, walking the dog here. What are you doing? Seriously, man, the torque on this lead is sniffing. Anyway, what team's up next? Haas, no points. One of the bets I did was Haas not leading, but getting double points. Had Norris to lead a lap as well. It was like 1,000 to 1. It was actually pretty good, and a overhang in it. No, I'll just give him 2 5s. I'll give Ocon. I'll give Bierman a 6, Ocon a 5. What else? Who's the other team? Sauber, Bortoletto a 4. Near killed Alonso. Hulkenberg 5, and RB Hadjar, I'll give an 8. Got points. His teammate Lawson, penalty, wee bit harsh. Give him a 6. And then Williams, I'll give Sainz a 9. I'll give Albon an 8. I think that's about right. Good teamwork there.